Mind, managing the stress test.
It's December 2003. Queen's Park Rangers are fighting for promotion to the First Division. And this is the man with the task of getting them there. But with responsibility comes pressure, comes stress, and the cracks are beginning to show.
Get back in!
And the stress doesn't stop when he leaves the pitch.
Feel like a firecracker waiting to go off.
Meet Ian Holloway, the manager.
Come on, Gino, give him!
I couldn't possibly imagine what it's like for Ian to have that responsibility. One minute you're God, and the next minute you're something that the dog left behind.
He needs help. It's time to bring in the stress professors. Will they be up to the challenge?
It's almost like a nuclear bomb ready to go off, and he just says, bang. We certainly need to get this man checked out.
Everyone wants a piece of him. His players, his family, the media. And the stress is getting to him. The future of the club and the stability of the family lies in his hands. Will Ian sink or swim as he takes the stress test? Ian Holloway, known to most as Ollie, has a mammoth task ahead of him. It's December 2003 and QPR are top of the Second Division. They've got to stay there if they're going to get promoted. That means winning, all the time. The pressure is on. His contract runs to the end of the season. If he doesn't deliver, his job is on the line.
The most important thing about my job is that you never know how long you're going to be in it. I think that's the biggest cause of stress, because it's such a insecure business and you're on a result and you are not really, truthfully speaking, when the game goes on, in any sort of control at all. And my biggest fault, Ian Holloway is an emotional fella, and when you get emotional you get right in there and you're paddling about, and you should be out on the bank watching the water go by.
I want Premier League. I ain't going to put up with this crappy standard. It's fucking rubbish. And where we should be looking is up there somewhere. Not, ooh, wait a minute, fucking hell.
His anxiety, his stress can transform or relay itself to the players, you know, which sometimes perhaps isn't a good thing.
I think it's quite hard to calm him down. I think that's a problem, and you know, you've probably got your work cut out trying to help him.
Time did you get in? 10 past 10. What time do I tell you to report?
10 o'clock.
At the training ground, fully dressed like you are now, because we are getting slack.
I've always been someone who really flies off the handle with my emotions, and sometimes I'm not very impressed with that after it's all happened.
After a stressful day at work, Ian heads home to relax with wife Kim and his 4 children. Because of a congenital condition, all 3 of his daughters are profoundly deaf.
I prefer it if he didn't use his voice. Because we're deaf, it's pointless when he's shouting at us, he's wasting his breath. And he shouts really loud, I'm sure the neighbours can hear him.
You can tell he's stressed, you can hear him basically, he just goes mad.
5 minutes, you say 5 minutes every time!
But teenage kids know exactly which buttons to press to get their dad's stress levels soaring.
It's 20 to 11! Relax, oh, for God's sake.
Ian's a bit like a volcano. There's a lot of rumbling going on for like a few days or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's boom.
We had to go to a do last night talking about deafness for the NDCS. We've just come back. Look, how many tassels are on my cushion? Huh? They have sliced one off. If you can believe that. Can you believe that? It's absolute. No wonder I get so wiggy. God, you wait till I get in.
Ian's determined to get to the bottom of who sliced his tassel.
Hello? Hello? What do you mean, Harriet? Hello? Not you. What, the invisible person again? Hello? Oh, it's not you? He just said it was you. No. She said it was William. Crafty asshole. What about this, sir? I am just serious about this.
It's time for Ian to meet the stress professors. Their challenge is to devise a stress-busting action plan. So they need to find out exactly what makes Ian tick. Professor Stephen Palmer is a chartered psychologist specialising in stress management. He assesses how Ian's mind works.
If you're competitive and hard-driven, you can lose sight of the bigger picture, and this can have a very negative impact upon your relationships.
Professor Angela Clough is a specialist in psychophysiology. Her expertise is measuring the effect of stress on the body.
Stress can be really bad for you. For example, it affects your immune system, so you're less able to fight off infection. It also increases your blood pressure, which makes you more prone to cardiovascular diseases. It can make you more prone to diseases like diabetes, and eventually it can lead to mood disorders like melancholic depression.
It's often thought that stress is all about adrenaline, but it's not. Adrenaline pumps when you're aroused, so it's the same whether you're having a good time or bad. For the stress test, we're taking saliva samples to measure a hormone called cortisol. The more stress you experience, the more cortisol you produce. It's the only way to really measure stress. It's crucial that the professors understand Ian's stress. They watch as he tackles match day, the most stressful day of his week. QPR are at home to arch rivals Brighton and Hove Albion. 18,000 expectant fans and Ian's family in the stands. Ian's pre-match nerves should now be at their height. He's down in the dressing room, getting his team whipped up, ready for the match.
One of their members of staff have been rude as fuck to us. All right, it's about us coming out on top. Now, we got to go out there today. It ain't all about pretty football. It's about winning football. So what we get, let's get on your fucking toes. Let's get here.
Seems quite in control.
Yes, he seems he's definitely enjoying himself there, in control. Doesn't look too stressed. Bit of motivation.
Come on, boys, come on. Right, all my life I've been on a fucking crusade because you can be a winner without being fucking rude. We got to go out there and we got to come out on top in this game. That's how you can hurt them. And I want us fucking focused. Pull in. Let's pull nice and fucking tight. Feel that fucking strength that we got, huh?
He's where he's focused on actually the motivation side, so that's quite good in that respect.
Because he is a passionate man, and he has enthusiasm which drives his players, which is great. It's a great thing.
We test Ian's cortisol throughout the day. Healthy cortisol works like this. It starts low when you awake and then quickly shoots up. This is to tell your body to get up and go. Over the rest of the day, healthy cortisol slowly falls. By the evening, it's back to a low level, so that your body can go to sleep. In the dressing room, Ian is in his element and nicely relaxed.
Come on, come on.
But that all changes as soon as the game kicks off and his cortisol levels start to rise.
Gino, give him! Give him!
QPR score and take the lead. And incredibly, this makes Ian even more stressed. Within seconds, his cortisol has shot up.
Hey! Come on! Come on! Fucking come on!
I have never seen cortisol levels shoot up in a situation where someone is in a winning situation before in my life. It's because he actually isn't in control, actually playing the football match. He's having to sit and watch.
Yeah, but actually being stuck on the side,
yes.
He's almost like a caged animal at times. Even if they're winning. This is the most amazing thing. He still loses the plot.
Get back in! Fucking! Hey! Fucking get him back on shape!
He gets so angry when he's wound up, which really can impact upon his health.
He's absolutely at risk. And also, of course, cortisol has so many effects. It increases blood pressure, which is going to have a dramatic effect on his cardiovascular well-being.
QPR go on to win 2-1.
Yes! Come on! Come on!
2-1. Yes!
I really do worry about his health. I mean, he's obviously in a very stressful job. He's got a very stressful family life, and His dad died when he was 59 of a heart attack, and it just can't be good for him.
I've lost my dad at a very young age. I was only 25 when he went. I don't want to do that to William or the girls. I want to be there for him. I want to be looking out for him.
High stress levels increase the risk of a heart attack, so the stress professors send Ian for a full body MOT with the Fit to Manage scheme. For almost 4 hours, Ian is put through a series of tests. Is he at risk of an early heart attack, just as his father was?
He did very well. He reached a very high level of cardiovascular fitness that would put him in the excellent category for somebody 15 to 20 years his junior.
I'm 5-0 up, aren't I?
Yeah.
Come on.
So Ian's fit, but stressed, even when watching his son Will play football on a Sunday morning.
Go on, get over the top. Go on then. Go on, get in the box, Will. Aye! He didn't play the ball! That's a joke. Here, ref, that should have been a pen, mate. He didn't play the ball. He didn't play the ball.
The rift with the ref doubles his cortisol, though it is lower than when he's pacing the touchline for QPR.
Glad you think so. No one else does.
He finds it very hard to relax.
It seems, but he just can't switch off. So he's a reactor, and often it is made worse when he perceives the situation as uncontrollable. When he's not in control, it's so easy for him to get so wound up.
I can't stand losing. I don't know what it is, whether it's a personal affront on me, whether I'm good enough or whatever, I don't know. It just seems a lot more than a game. My ego rears up. When I'm not in control and I want something and I want it now and it won't work, then I normally go mad.
You're just a spoiled baby.
Yeah, I am a spoiled brat, I think, by the look of it.
The stress professors also need to see how Ian deals with stress at home. One evening, he gets back after driving through snow on dangerous roads.
I've just done the biggest nightmare ever.
Yeah.
I've gone out in the snow to get him and we could have walked.
You don't think I don't know all this?
No, but you should know caring about how to... Oh, what are you doing outside?
He's allowed himself to get very wound up. He's walked through the door, as opposed to thinking, let's just switch off, relax. No, he's straight in there, and he's allowing himself to get really wound up.
Shut the fuck up, because I was nearly crashing with another car, man.
And every time he reacts, every time he perceives this lack of control, he's producing cortisol.
I just feel a bit like that at the moment, you know. How can I describe it? It's a bit like short of breath, very anxious. I feel like a firecracker waiting to go off, you know. Absolutely tamping, fuming.
One of the problems is the aftermath of his anger, because when he gets himself wound up, it seems, create interpersonal problems at home.
But we know that when it's all calmed down and he sits and he's on his own, how much he hates himself for having done it.
Another row with his wife and children, and Ian's now at a turning point in his life.
She don't love the fellow who I am. As if she's just tolerated it up to now. And there's an awful lot of things that used to scare me, but none of them do now. Only the fact that if I lost her. Without your family, you got nothing. And sometimes maybe I just feel there's too much responsibility, you know? When they were screaming and shouting at each other last night, what did I do? Did exactly the same to them. What sort of example is that?
At my age now, I'm 40 now, I should be mellow and I should be getting better. I feel I have, but the minute I have one of those explosions, I hate myself.
Yeah. OK, so you really do beat yourself up?
Oh, yeah.
You've got into this habit of almost like this cathartic approach, like a mini explosion all the time, that help you then calm down afterwards. But of course, that's the impact it has, that mini explosion, is obviously on your partner at home and maybe on your children as well, of course.
They don't deserve that.
No. When I was looking at you on the video clip, when you're getting really wound up at home. It was almost as if you were like a caged animal, literally walking around.
Well, really, truthfully speaking, I am a Jack Russell.
A Jack Russell?
And
that's
sometimes I look like a Rottweiler, but all I know is I'm fed up of being like it.
But how do you relax when you get home in the evening then?
That's a very good question.
That wasn't clear to us, looking at...
No, I don't suppose it is at the moment. Maybe that's something that we've got to look at, and I've got to look at.
Mm.
And, you know, I got one chance of being a parent, and I want to try and get it right.
Yeah.
Here we have your stress-busting action plan.
Oh, right.
The stress professors have just 4 weeks to try and de-stress Ian.
The anger management expert.
The central problem with Ian is his uncontrollable rage. He allows his anger to control him as opposed to him controlling his anger.
The stress professors have called in anger management expert Michael Neenan. He gets his first glimpse of Ian on the training ground.
Yes, there we are. That's the silky socker we're talking about.
The key initial point to get across to Ian is that he largely creates his own anger. He is in charge of whether he makes himself angry over certain situations in his life. What might be the underlying emotion that the anger's masking?
Fear.
Fear of?
Losing.
Because that would mean to you?
I'm not good enough.
You're not good enough. There's a difference between failing at something and calling yourself a failure on the basis of that. This is me going back a long time now, but when I used to watch Sir Ralph Ramsey, you know, I never saw him lose his temper at the sidelines. He always seemed to be very calm and controlled.
That's probably why he won the World Cup. You know, I've got this misconception that my anger has really helped me for
It's
some...
motivational.
Yeah.
What would be a new message that you would like to just look at maybe several times a day, just to remind yourself how you want to be and what it is you want to get away from?
Simply by being who I am good enough.
Okay. He shows great motivation, but it's translating the wish to change into the reality of changing, which means that on a daily basis he needs to start thinking and acting differently.
Scientific research has shown that relaxation can really reduce your cortisol levels. Now, if Ian could learn to relax more effectively, that would reduce his cortisol levels, reducing the effect of the stress on him and improving his health.
The stress professors take over Ian's dining room and turn it into a buffer zone between work and home to help him chill out.
This room is going to be a haven of peace and tranquility.
Ian has no idea what's behind the door.
Hello, Ian.
How are you?
Hi, my name's David. I'm your Tai Chi instructor. You've drawn Tai Chi.
Open for anything. When I think about my normal Sundays, I sit and watch football on the TV. It's a bit sad, isn't it?
So, turning. That's right. That's right. Just see if you can feel the connection between your hands and the ground.
I can, yeah. They're tingling with warmth. That's unbelievable.
The Tai Chi has a marked effect on Ian, lowering his cortisol and relaxing him.
Doing all these movements, I could actually feel some energy between my hands. It was fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
The next day, and Ian faces another mystery chill-out technique organised by the stress professors.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to meet you.
What have we got here?
Come and sit down.
Thank you.
Ian, I'm Chloe.
Hello, Chloe.
From
Nice
the
to meet
Naked
you.
Voice Foundation.
And Chloe's going to teach Ian to relax to the sound of his own voice.
I didn't know I was meeting you, but here we are.
Just start sort of moving the body around a little bit. Just shake the shoulders a little bit. Just make some, just any old sound at all. Shake it through the shoulders. And just through the legs. So just shake away any of that kind of grudge about oneself and all that stuff. And yeah, don't even worry whether you got the right tune or anything. Just have a good time.
Why do birds sing so gay? Lovers away at the break of day. Why do they fall in love? Why does the rain fall from up above? Why in love? Why do they fall in love?
While Ian seems to be having a great time, his cortisol showed he was highly stressed. In fact, he found singing just as stressful as being at a QPR match.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Want a cup of tea?
I love one.
Day 3. The stress professors remind Ian of a personal passion that he hasn't enjoyed for many years.
Your pom pom, all Paris. My God, that's blank. I got nothing to copy, and that's all I've ever done all my life, you know. So I'm gonna have to let go, aren't I? I'm gonna have to let go. Now. Oh, that's ratty. Whoa. Get on there. That felt really good, didn't it?
And the cortisol agrees. Ian was more relaxed after painting than at any other time during our filming.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, this. All my life I've been far too bloody structured, you know? Oh, I shouldn't say that, shouldn't I? Been far too structured. That just felt fantastic. Wowzer.
What are you going to call your picture? Your picture's got to have a name.
It's called promotion.
Promotion.
After just a couple of weeks, Ian's learned that it's crucial for him to have this buffer zone between work and home, so that football stress stays at the football ground. Life at home is on the up.
Want to sing in chocolate? No. Listen, come out. Oh! You sure?
No.
You sure you want that one?
No.
Oh!
I want a higher one.
The stress professors want to build on the good work. They send anger management consultant Michael Neenan back for another session, this time with Ian and Kim.
How are you, say, in the first few days after our last session?
I better bring you on this, haven't I?
There was a remarkable difference. You were...
Remarkable?
A remarkable difference. In fact, I thought there was a new bloke had arrived.
That'd be nice for you.
Yeah. No, you were just really nice to be with.
You can really, truly take yourself far too seriously in my role. So much so that on Wednesday after this debacle of a game, and I've picked up a paper thinking it's going to be a great big article about how well QPR did, and we turned it, and there was 2 lines about that big. And I looked at Kim, I said, am I blowing all this out of all proportion? And then she just started laughing at me. Yeah, of course you are.
If you could keep things in perspective and not make every issue a battlefield or football itself life and death. Because if the football goes, you still have what you truly love.
Yeah.
You see?
What? You stop staring at me like that. You're like sick, you evil-eyed codfish.
You love the football more than your wife and family.
No, I don't.
Maybe you do.
No, I don't. No.
Match day. QPR are playing Luton, and it's the last time Ian will have the stress professors on hand. Stephen and Angela are at the game to see if their advice has paid off. Has Ian learned how to stay calm and control his anger? The initial signs are good, with a healthy, low cortisol level. But it's a game of 2 halves, and there's a long way to go.
Of course, matches can turn around very quickly.
Yeah,
so, and he knows that.
Yeah.
And his job is to stay focused and also attempt to motivate the team.
Get after it! Get after it! That's a fucking foul, you absolute muppet!
He looks quite relaxed, actually. He's almost making it a bit of a joke. Here he goes, here he goes. He's up.
Hey, come on, mate. For fuck's sake.
The professors are worried that Ian is about to lose it.
That's good stuff.
Well, at least he's still sat down, which is more progress, isn't it?
This is a key moment. In the past, Ian has become most stressed immediately after his team score.
Steve, it's so amazing. They've got a goal. Look, Ian sitting down, cool as a cucumber.
But what's going on behind Ian's cool exterior? The cortisol starts to rise and keeps on rising. In fact, it hits the highest mark we've ever seen for Ian. Does this mean the stress professors have failed? Ian's behaviour is crucial. He doesn't explode. He doesn't rant. He's a much more effective manager. He stays calm and completely focused throughout the match, which ends in a draw. Over the coming months, it's likely that his cortisol will drop to match his outer cool.
I've been surprised by two things today, Steve. How much I enjoyed the football and how well he has responded to what's been going on in his life.
The great thing is he stayed focused when they're under pressure.
Yeah.
All of his conversation was about what he was going to do with them on the pitch.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
Put it on the table, just wait them.
The best thing, I think, is the fact that Ian's started using his ears twice as much as his tongue. He's shutting his mouth and listening a bit more.
Before I was just one big fight. Not now.
Dad's a lot less angry. He's a lot more happy. He doesn't have a sad face anymore.
You want me to change back? No, I can't easy. It'll be all right. Yeah. You prefer it from back? Better now?
It's going to be difficult, and I don't think it's possible for somebody just to change in the course of 3 or 4 weeks. But I certainly am not going to let him go now that I can see this, this better side to him.
So has it been easier than you thought?
It's not easy, no. It's not easy to face yourself full on and see what you are, the person I thought I was, and how important he was. Is a joke. I can only do certain things, and I'm only part of my family, and I'm part of a football club, and I'm part of things. I can't change the world.
Yeah. When you met us, I said I actually believe that you could change your thinking and then change your behaviour. Now, what do you think?
I totally agree with you, yeah, and it's been wonderful.
So do you think you're going to maintain this after we've all gone away?
You've changed my life, definitely.
Okay,
that's what we wanted to hear.
You have, and that's absolutely brilliant. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, that's really great.
I honestly believe that I'm a better person. I don't need the anger, it's gone, and I feel so much calmer.
Finally, Ian can actually relax and enjoy football, at least on a Sunday.
Get on the end of it! Yes! We're enjoying ourselves!
At the end of the season, Ian triumphed. QPR were promoted to the First Division.
Any chance of smiling, you miserable gits?
The Stress Test website is packed with stress-busting advice. Log on at bbc.co.uk/lifestyle. The BBC Action Line can offer confidential support and information. Call 0800 092 2021. The Action Line is open 7 days a week from 7:30 till midnight.
Imagine playwright and author Simon Gray at 10:35 tonight on BBC One.
1961, Norman Taylor was found